Hey everyone, Nubkeks here and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. In today's video we're going to be doing one of your requested heroes, which is going to be Kerrigan. I thought it was kind of interesting, the comment. I love the comment. Kind of puts this video in an interesting and funny perspective. He's saying, hey, keep up the good work. It was this is a really difficult name to say. Alareza Abassi asked for this Kerrigan video. He says, I realized you have no video for Kerrigan recently. Can you do a video for her? I guess all your subs would like to watch how you play Kerrigan. This is a question I would assume actually quite a lot of people have been wondering. As you can see, looking at the hero levels down in the bottom of the screen, Kerrigan is in fact my third highest level hero. Additionally, unlike the other all level 10 heroes, she does not have a favorite marker on her. And additionally, she's also very highly rated in my tier list. So why is it that there haven't been any Kerrigan videos in the ranked videos I've done, or just in general? Why is that? Well, the reason is that I'm not very good at Kerrigan. In fact, that's one of the one of the main reasons, one of the main things that attracted me to her was when I played her most back in the beta. I've barely played her at all recently. I had actually busted her out again for the first time in the longest time in order to make this video, actually. She doesn't hugely click with me, I have to admit, so you can enjoy watching me make some mistakes in this video. Should be quite fun. I think Kerrigan, it's like what they say about communism, right? It's or some people say it's great in theory, but questionable in execution. That kind of describes my Kerrigan. I know the kind of fundamentals about how to play her, and I can teach you guys how to play her, but then I do tend to not be very good at aiming the Kerrigan combo. But I did think about it. I watched the gameplay, and I did work out a couple of ways, or a couple of things that are kind of leading me astray in terms of the combos, which I haven't obviously implemented in this video, but when I was reviewing the footage to think about how I would commentate on this, because I know that it won't be the most amazing gameplay you've ever seen, I said, hang on, okay, I'm noticing some things, I'm thinking about some ideas, and I think these will actually really help in the future, so might actually be quite useful for you guys to put it into practice as well. But yeah, I think Kerrigan, in general, is an extremely powerful hero at the moment. Extremely powerful. She's a super power pick hero. What I mean by that is you grab her, you basically lay down the law, you throw down the gauntlet, and you say, yo, we're playing Kerrigan, deal with it. She's very, very strong and very scary to play against. She's probably one of the most infamous heroes for being unbelievably strong in the early game, and then even a bit into mid-game, and then falling off quite a lot into the late game. Why is that? What about her makes that the case? Well, the thing is that there is something called a Kerrigan combo, which I'll show you in this video. Basically, you throw down your W, which is a stun, then you throw down your E, which is a kind of a displacement, pulls them back towards you. And you pull heroes back into your stun. Does a big chunk of damage, but especially in the early game, it really sets up kills very much because people have relatively low health, they're relatively squishy, their escapes, their talents are relatively not there, I guess, or weaker. So therefore, yeah, she's very strong at securing kills in the early game. Can be very, very dominant at that, and can be very, very, very frightening actually to play against. Her best maps then are ones that play around this idea. They're going to be maps that tend to be early game focused, maps where ganks can be very powerful, and yeah, kind of things like that. So her most infamous map that she is best on is, of course, Infernal Shrines. She brings phenomenal wave clear to killing the monsters on the shrines, which are her trait, by the way. When you do damage with Kerrigan, it generates a shield for a short time. So she can clear out the shrines on Infernal Shrines really easily, builds up a ton of shields. She can do it solo completely. And yeah, that just, it opens up so many strategic options for playing with your team. Additionally, then pushing in with the Punisher. The Punisher can, you know, jump forward and stun people. Well, Kerrigan can do that as well. So obviously those two things tend to combo together very well. The Punisher leads, you follow, and can be very powerful getting a kill. So she is incredibly strong in Infernal Shrines. She's also pretty good on other maps. In this game, we're going to be running her on SHIRE. And on Dragonshire, you have smaller team fights. So she's going to be very strong for rotating around the map here, looking for ganks, looking for picks. And then when we can get a kill, well, that kill can enable us to take control of the 2 shrines and take a Dragonite. It's going to be quite important and quite effective. So I would say Infernal Shrines, Dragonshire. She's also good at Towers of Doom. Even though Towers of Doom can go quite long, I think, you know, her gank potential, especially in some of those choke points, and the fact that people are somewhat visible and vulnerable, can work out pretty well for you. And if you do snowball the game enough, I think it's very difficult to come back on Towers of Doom, because, you know, there is obviously the ticking time bomb. And then once your towers, if you fall really far behind, your towers start going down, it becomes really, really difficult to come back. So I think she can work quite well there. Looking at her win rates at the moment for the last week, she also seems to be doing very well in Garden of Terror and Brax's Holdout. Not too bad in Blackheart's Bay either. Her weaker maps, obviously, Battlefield of Eternity, where she really brings nothing to fighting the Immortal. Tomb of the Spider Queen, Cursed Hollow, which tend to be like some of the longest maps. And she doesn't super synergize with the objectives there. But anyway, you can see right there, that was unfortunate. I misplaced the W, landed the E pretty well. It's something I noticed, is that I'm much better at landing the E than the W. But anyway, we'll talk about this a bit as we go further. Right here, that is the Kerrigan combo. You can see the Varian actually did a good job of sidestepping. That was not, though, a badly placed Kerrigan combo. That one was actually pretty well placed. It was just a good job of Varian for juking. However, kind of catch-22 or whatever, like a lose-lose situation for him, is that because I just forgot to price W down that time, it didn't activate. Oops. But yeah, because he had to juke kind of to the southwest, he ran back towards that brush instead of running towards his gate. That meant that he could not get out, and yeah, we were able to just kind of collapse on him and take him out with basic attacks. Pretty nice. And then we got a good combo there, picked off the Falstad, got ourselves the kill, and that's going to help us control these shrines and get some early Dragonite pressure, which is going to be pretty good. Obviously, I've run out of mana, so I'm going to get out of here and go back to base. One thing to note about Kerrigan is that she is not a solo lane hero. A lot of you're often running your melee assassin, your sort of your sub tank spot, your kind of bruiser or melee assassin role. You know, you're thinking of things like Chen, like Thrall, like Dahaka. They're very often, you know, your solo lane heroes. Kerrigan is not that. You want her to be roaming with your team and trying to set up kills with your team, set up ganks. For example, right here, Varian walks out into the middle of the lane. Hello, friend. Got kind of split my attention right there. Went for the Falstad instead of the Varian. If we just went for Varian straight up, I think we would have killed him, no problem. One of those difficult situations, and you can see I misplaced the Kerrigan combo. What is going wrong with these Kerrigan combos? Nubkeks, why are you missing so many of them? Why do you suck? Well, it's something I actually noticed. I think it's to do quite a lot with quick cast, right? So in order to do the combo, you press W first, then you press E. So you throw W down on the floor, which is these spikes. Takes them a little while to activate. So you plop that down, then you press E. Your E pulls them back, so it will pull them back to land in the spikes. It's perfectly sort of timed and coordinated. By the way, Li Ming running away here basically fucked us. She was at half health and half mana. There was no reason for her to back off from this fight. You can see both of their heroes running away with like a sliver of HP. If Li Ming had not gone to tap the well, I probably still would have died, but we probably would have got 2 kills in return. So that was a mistake from her. We'll still get the Dragonite though, which is good, but that situation could have gone much... There was just no reason to grab the well right there, right? She's not in any danger because they had to kill me. And yeah, that was unfortunate. But oh well. Oh well. I'm certainly not playing the best in this game in terms of my mechanics, so can't complain too much. Certainly Falstad is a difficult one to play against for Kerrigan because he can just barrel roll away whenever you activate your... you try to go for your combo. You have to wait for his escape to be down. They also have a Tastar who can E out of it. Same with Dahaka, who can burrow and dodge it. And then they're going to have a tank Varian actually in this game, so he's kind of tanky. Pretty interesting. And also worth noting, they've got a very pick-focused comp. You can see their Falstad, he knows what's up. We're still able to bully him quite a bit, but he knows how to dodge the combo and play around it. But Kerrigan would just, you know, beat him in the long run. We do catch Tastar in the combo this time, which is not too bad. Dahaka goes down, but enemy team does just manage to escape away from that position. Looking to dive Tastar right here. Our teammates, though, are rotating away for something. So this does not go too well for us. I'm not sure what they're doing. I get they're just double clearing mid and then going bottom, I guess. I don't know. I really feel like we could have pressured that top 4. That's kind of interesting. Hadn't noticed that during the gameplay. I was just like, oh shit, I'm gonna die. But Uther did save me there, so well played by him. Nice cleanse and nice heal to actually help me stay in that, which I was very thankful for. So the thing is, what I think is very much going wrong with my combos is to do with how you tend to quick cast skill shots like Primal Grasp, which is her E. So the way you tend to quick cast that, as we do just die, that was just being greedy. And like this was a good opportunity to explain this. So E, right, it's a conal ability that comes out from you. And quick casting this sort of thing, you probably won't have this problem if you do normal cast because you get to aim it more accurately in a way. But let's use Li Ming's Arcane Orb as a good example. Let's say you're standing in the middle of the screen and you're firing it to the right, okay? If you move your mouse, let's say accidentally, 2 centimeters up, if you have your mouse at the very max range of her Arcane Orb, the path of the Arcane Orb isn't going to be disrupted that much, right? It will be a little bit, you know, northwards of east, but not too much. It'll be kind of like an eastward flying Arcane Orb, but kind of tilted a little bit to the north. But still, probably accurate enough in most cases for it to work out in your favor. We do get a nice gank onto Haka, actually just using our W because he burrowed early to land that without having to combo, which is very nice. And then using E as an additional ability, actually separating them in that situation. Going back to the Li Ming example, if you, and I'll talk about talents after that, if you have your mouse right beside Li Ming's character and you go for the Arcane Orb, and you have it 2 centimeters to the north, out of position, well, suddenly that Arcane Orb is going to go way off kilter. Nice work by our teammates, by the way, picking up 2 kills, but it'll be way off kilter, right? Because it's obviously, you know, the how much you're moving relative to the circumference or whatever. When you're closer to your character, small movements of your mouse actually equate to much larger differentials, or much larger changes in your skill shots. So when you're using quick cast, you tend to have your mouse somewhat far out from your character, I guess, to make maximum use of those skill shots, just to have the most precise control over where they're going to go. Now, the issue with the Kerrigan combo is that you don't always want, is that, well, like when we're using that E ability, right? We want to have our mouse kind of near the edge of the E ability so we can aim the E as accurately as possible. And something I noticed actually watching back this gameplay was that I tend to be actually pretty accurate with those Primal Grasps, so with those E's. It's the W's that are the issue because I have my mouse positioned far away from Kerrigan to get maximum accuracy on my E, which means that I'm always throwing the W down pretty much at maximum range too for the Kerrigan combo. And very often what happens is that instead of pulling heroes into the combo, I pull them like through it and the W goes too far and I get taken out. Nice divine shield from Uther there. And we managed to go back in. We do go down right here, but our teammates pick up 2 kills, maybe 3. And they pick up 2 kills in return, so that's more than worth it for us. It's also going to help us put some pressure onto this bottom fort. So that's a pretty nice situation. More than worth it to dive in right there. But yeah, that was something I really thought. So that might be a good tip for you guys. If you're using quick cast, get used to quick casting your E Kono skill shot from close to Kerrigan, or just from any distance away from her, so that you're comfortable aiming your E correctly, while also placing your W at the appropriate place in the combo to land it. So if you're going to hit a max range E, then yes, a max range W is good, but as they come closer to you, you need to be placing that W closer and closer. So you're going to have to go a bit against your instincts, actually, which is going to be to fire your skill shots from sort of like the max range to have maximum control. You're going to have to move away from that sort of habit in order to make the most out of her combo. There you go, just a little tip, something I kind of noticed and learned for myself in this particular game. You can see I'm going pretty aggressive here. With 2 enemy heroes dead, this is a pretty good situation for us. Johanna's rotating down as well, which is nice. Falstad is caught out and we just blast him. He falls apart, no problem whatsoever. Gonna continue going aggressive right here. You can see, for example, as again, you can see that very often my W's very far up in that combo too far up in the combo, actually. In that situation, we missed. It was a very ambitious combo attempt there on the Tastar, but worth taking. With 3 enemy team members dead, with all of our team members nearby, might as well go for that. There's nothing else really for me to do. Got plenty of mana at the current time, so yeah, might as well. It was a very low percentage play, but there was no risk involved in actually going for the Tastar right there, so there you go. We went for it. Didn't work out. Didn't expect it to, really. But worth, you know, that 10% chance that we would have hit him. Worth going for it. Dahaka actually wasting his Brush Stalker to get down here. That's pretty nice for us. That's going to be on a long cooldown. Tap the well for some mana and coming back around. I'll come to the talents in a second. Let's actually focus a bit on the gameplay, because I've been talking about some of the theory here for a little while. See, right, that was a good example there again, right? We got the Tastar, we had the right idea, we aimed it well, but our W too far down the combo, so it didn't quite work out for us. Bit of counter synergies there in terms of the Starfall and the Gust. And team panicking a little bit. Tastar did die, which is nice. And we're continuing this push with the Dragon Knight, just kind of sidestepping some of these things. You're going to notice I'm being trying to be fairly patient in this game. We have a Tychus and a Li Ming. So we have actually very powerful damage dealers on our team. And the enemy team has got a super pick-orientated composition with the Trond, with the Varian, and even the Dahaka. They've got quite an odd composition, really. So I'm being very careful not to jump in and get picked off myself. Kind of waiting, being this distracting, this scary force around the edge. Making it difficult for the enemy team to deal with me. Once again, not a good combo. We're getting tons of value out of our basic attacks and out of our heroic right here. And our teammates are doing a good job. Again, my main job here is to be a distraction. That one was pretty interesting. I started off the combo, but because I didn't know whether Falstad would go north or east. Halfway through, I worked out that he would be going east. So we managed to hit him with the E. Like I said, pretty accurate with the E, but not so with the W. But it worked out in our favor in the end. This is pretty good though. 4 kills. We're 3 levels up. Soon to be 4 levels up, actually. I'm pushing in nicely. We've taken down a keep and we still have all of our structures. So things are looking pretty good for us right now. I'm going to swing down bottom, continue soaking there, while our teammates kind of take out this top fort. And yeah, just get the map ready for the next Dragon Knight phase, and we'll see how things go. Let's talk about my talents while that is going on. So level 1, I picked up Block. I think Block is by far Kerrigan's best level 1 talent. Well, almost all, unless you're going for a Q build, and Q build might work very well on, I would say in particular, on Infernal Shrines. Q build can work well, but I would say this level 1 and 4. Actually, let me do level 1 and 4 together. So I pick up Block at level 1, and then Fury of the Swarm at level 4. You can see how much value it's getting here in this split push. Our teammates actually get 3 kills, so going really well. This split push is working out fantastically for us. Fury of the Swarm, your basic attack splash for 60% damage around the target. You can see it gives you a ton of free wave clear, a ton of free shield generation, and it's just really, really useful. I think the two of these combo together, it's mana efficient, you're going to be great at clearing out the shrines, and you're going to have Block, which is just another great early game talent, real big early game power spike, and improves your survivability. Going to be pretty good. You see I'm telling my team to be careful. We can just go back and get the Dragon Knight, then take this out, so we don't need to push in here too aggressively. I think they actually stay to pick off the keep, which may be a little bit greedy, but Johanna could die and that'd be fine. I think this is going kind of badly for us. Yeah, you can see they're having a tough time disengaging from this. Going back in. Ooh, Tychus goes back in, gets picked off. Li Ming now, she's deep in the enemy team. Cleanse comes out from Uther, but Varian Charge follows up as soon as that cleanse expires, and Li Ming is going to go down. A couple of excellent force balls from Tastar actually setting this up, and Uther goes down too. So definitely a bit of greed, overcommitment to trying to make it out okay. You know, I feel like they might have overcommitted a little bit to taking the keep. We could have picked it off with the Dragon Knight, easy peasy, win the game. Instead, they insisted on taking out the keep, which wasn't terrible. It worked out okay. Could have sacrificed Johanna, backed off, and still probably secured the Dragon Knight, honestly. But then again, trying to keep Johanna alive, and it went horribly wrong, and snowballed into 4 of our team members dying. I think we were 5 levels up at that stage. Now we're down to 3 levels up, soon to be 2 levels up. The enemy team gets the Dragon Knight. And quite a big chance for a comeback here for them. Big XP comeback. And yeah, kind of scary. You can see I'm not even going to try. People, this is a common mistake. People will like try to fight or something like this. You're fighting 1v5. I suppose Tastar is defending, so it's 1v4. I'm literally just going to sit behind my gate, and wait for my teammates to respawn. I picked up the bruiser camp. That was the most efficient way, or the best thing I could do given the sort of limited circumstances that we had. But yeah, I kind of stirred away. Again, if we'd aimed that better, we could have picked up the false stat. Didn't quite work out for us. Decent stun from the enemy team, but their variant is now in turn overcommitted. He's gonna go down. Once again, W too far forwards. Just story of my life, W too far forwards in the combo. But I'm glad that I worked it out from watching this gameplay. I can go, I know how to fix this now. I know how to fix this. Which I think would be much more easily secured kills if I could actually aim that, for sure. Unfortunately, we get dismounted. The arrows followed us through that punt, which did mean I didn't get on my mount and did not realize. But yeah, I really like these level 1 and 4 talents. Block, Interfere with the Swarm. I think it's just nice, easy, more survivability, free wave clear, really, really useful. Going for an aggressive pick here, but the Hackett does burrow down. That's fine with me. Odin doing quite a lot of damage here as we push in. And Divine Storms from some Psionic Storms from Tastar. We're just gonna stand between the storm and the keep range, and that's just fine. Like I said, you have a Q build at levels 1 and 4, which I think is very good, pretty good too. You can get health back whenever you kill something with Q, and also mana back for your Q, and improve the next damage. That's pretty great at clearing the shrines as well. I'm not sure about other maps though. I feel like the build I've gone for in this game will just be more consistent overall. And if you do look at our win rates for talents, it's kind of crazy. At level 1, at master level, the Q talent has a 54% win rate. The W talent at level 1 got a 53% win rate. Block has a 64% win rate. It's massively higher win rate than the other ones, which is why I just think it's probably the straight up best one. And then I love Fury of the Swarm with it to give you that AoE clear. It also has the highest win rate of its tier. Level 7 then, Blade of Momentum, so you get cooldown reduction on all your basic abilities when you land basic attacks. This consistently has a bugged interaction with Fury of the Swarm as well, where the AoE damage you're doing with your basic attacks triggers like a weaker AoE cooldown reduction as well, so you get way more cooldown reduction than you should. I don't know if that's active at the moment. I don't think so, but it's like anytime they change battle momentum a bit, it comes back again. Nice Divine Shield from Uther. We're going to go pretty deep right here, popping our abilities. Falstad does dodge the combo, but it doesn't really matter. We get Shrink Ray too, but that's just fine with me. Kind of continue the aggression. We just get Shrink Ray again. We did. Once again, we landed 2 nice W's onto Hackett thanks to Burrow in this particular game. We finish off the Tron with a laser beam from Li Ming plus some basic attacks from me. And there you go. That's all she wrote. Gonna be game for us. Big comeback for the enemy team at the end. And of course, have to end the video missing another combo. Gotta end it in style, guys. Gotta end it in style. You know? Be consistent in being shit at that combo. But oh well. Hopefully it was still pretty interesting looking into how to play Kerrigan. Other talents, level 10 picked up Maelstrom, definitely the best heroic. A lot of nice damage and also shielding. Level 13 then I went for Eviscerate, longer Q range. Thought it'd be pretty useful in this game when they have so much like pick potential to kind of get around the enemy team. Then level 16 picking up Aggressive Defense, so just passively generating a lot more shields. A couple of other options though at level 13 and 16, honestly. I think they're pretty open. I do feel like the level 1, 4, and 7 talents are particularly strong though. So Block, Fury of the Swarm, Blade of Momentum, Maelstrom, Eviscerate, Aggressive Defense, and Bolt of the Storm. So level 13, I like all of our level 13s. I think pick whichever one you like best. I think they're all great. Then level 16, you can choose between Aggressive Defense, which is just, you will passively get, I think it's double shields, which is really great. You generate twice as many. Fantastic. Awesome. Cool. Don't have to think about it. The other option is get Essence for Essence, which is it's basically blood for blood. You steal 10% of the enemy of an enemy hero's max health and gain twice as much shields. So if they do have a big tank, this can be a pretty good way to make yourself more sustainable and to do a bit more burst against that tanky target. And that's a very good option as well. It's just up to you. Do they have a good team to use that against? Will it be useful against their composition? Will it be more helpful for your survivability? And also the big question, of course, is do you want to make Kerrigan that little bit more complicated to play, or do you want to just grab the passive thing? Yeah, I think the talent build I went for in this game will serve you very, very well, though, overall. Both the Storm level 20. is excellent. Omega Storm is another good option if you want something passive. But Kerrigan is very good at engaging, but bad at escaping. So Bolt of the Storm does fit really well into her kit. So you can like go for that aggressive sort of pick potential engage. Oh, it didn't quite work out. All right, we have Bolt of the Storm to escape if needs be, or even bolts to chase people down aggressively as well. It's also an option. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Look at me messing up quite a lot. But certainly if you are good at Kerrigan, like, go for it. She's really strong right now. Like I said, on those maps, she's a huge power pick. Ways to counter her, she does not like double warrior compositions very much. She's not a big fan of double support compositions either. Basically anything, if they've got like a really tanky front line, or like a tanky team with lots of control, that makes it just really difficult for Kerrigan to actually secure the kills. She's going to have a bad time. For example, I would say Zarya is probably a standout hero for me as someone who is very good with Kerrigan, enabling her to go in and do a lot of damage. You know, the shields on top of the Kerrigan, super nice from Zarya, enabling Zarya's damage. She's also really good against Kerrigan. Again, those shields protecting her teammates from what Kerrigan can do, and then getting lots of return damage, and the expulsion zones protecting as well. I think Zarya stands out as a hero that's great against her and with her. Thrall would be another example of a hero that's very good with her and against her. He's good with her. It'd be unusual. You'd probably be running a triple melee composition, which isn't quite normal, but well, number one, it removes him from the enemy team to take against you. But number two, he's a really great solo lane hero. So on a map like, I suppose, like, let's think about it, Inferno Shrines or Towers of Doom or Dragonshire, you can have like Thrall take over the solo lane, do a great job, while Kerrigan roams with their 4-man team. You know, think something like, let's say, I don't know, ETC, maybe the new Diablo. Ethereal works really well with Kerrigan too, by the way, really well. Let's say Malfurion, Vala, Kerrigan, and ETC roaming around. That's really scary, you know. ETC lands the power slide, then you got the Kerrigan combo to follow up, you got the Malf roots, you got all the Vala damage, Kerrigan damage, just boom. It's just the pick potential is massive, and they got great wave clear as well. In terms of supports, it was interesting that we had Uther with her in this game, and seeing the Divine Shield with Kerrigan. I actually don't think it's a very good combo. Compare Uther with Greymane or with the Butcher, who I think he's very strong with. Why is he strong with them and not so much with Kerrigan? Well, Kerrigan, she jumps in, you do your combo, you pop all your shit, it does a lot of damage, it does a lot of stuff, and then you're just kind of okay. You're just kind of okay until your cooldowns come back around, and then you do more again. Whereas, you know, Greymane jumps in, and then he's just doing loads of damage. The Butcher goes in. Let's say the Butcher, actually. That's a really good example. So Kerrigan jumps in, does her combo, big CC combo, a lot of damage. The Butcher charges in, stuns a target, throws down Lamb to the Slaughter. Once again, just huge pick potential and engage from both of them. But whereas Kerrigan doesn't do that much after her combo's been executed, the Butcher continues just whacking people really fucking hard, right? Really fucking hard. So Divine Shield on the Butcher gives him the move speed and just the invulnerability from CC and from damage to just go in and just whack, whack, whack. All this basic attack damage, churning out so much damage. So I think that he combos better with her. Also, of course, you know, the Butcher, the charge, and Lamb, it's very, very, very warned in advance. They know exactly where he's coming, so Divine Shield can actually deny a lot of stuff, because they might fire a lot of stuff at the Butcher, because they know he's coming for about 2 seconds before he arrives. You know exactly where he's going. There's a big fucking marker above the person he's charging at. They know where he's gonna be. So yeah, Divine Shield can be really good in denying a lot of stuff there. So that's why I think that Divine Shield goes really well with the Butcher. Great at denying the stuff, and then he can do a lot of stuff with Divine Shield on him. Whereas Kerrigan, her engage is much faster, so they don't have enough time to prepare as much of a response. And then she doesn't do that much while the Divine Shield is on her. I think actually Rhaegar is generally better with her as like the kind of burst healer. You know, she goes in, she takes a lot of damage, but her shields protect her a good bit. Then you get the burst heal from Rhaegar, and she's kind of ready to go again. Or Malfurion probably stands out as maybe the best support with them, because the roots, just the follow-up, the roots is just huge. And, you know, Twilight Dream as well, huge. Malfurion does a lot of damage, a lot of CC with the silence, and the roots just fantastic for following up. I think they're very good options. And then, like I said, with the warriors, she's going to be very good with any like big CC warrior, and also nice to deny them from the enemy team. So I think the new Diablo is going to be a big one at the next patch. Tyrael, obviously fantastic. Going in with her with Sanctification, amazing. Obviously very good with ETC. Going to be great with probably a Nubkeks as well. Good with Muradin, of course. I mean, Dahaka, you could also run in a triple melee composition. Like, yeah, she's going to be fantastic with a lot of people. And yeah, she's going to be great against squishier heroes. And she's going to suffer a little bit against teams that do create that big, solid front line, or, you know, just a tanky team, difficult to get kills against. She's going to have a bit of a tough time against that. Like, she's not going to be too happy going against a Zarya or against a Thrall. Or, you know, maybe probably like ETC as well. You know, those CC tanks can kind of be used against her quite a bit too. In this case, we had a double support team for the enemy, but they were also very pick focused. It was quite interesting comp this time around. They didn't have a very good one. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that look at Kerrigan, and hope you guys enjoyed seeing me play something pretty badly. But I do sincerely hope, though, that you got a bit of an insight into playing her all the same, and that you've walked away kind of, you know, knowing some common mistakes of Kerrigan, but then also some good ways that she can be played too. At least the theory, anyway. Let's get some of the theory, and I've kind of got a good talent build too going forwards. Give it a thumbs up if you did learn something. And yeah, let me know if you have any other tips on how to play Kerrigan. Like I said, I have sunk a lot of time into her just because she is one of those heroes that really does not resonate with me, does not click. And I found that interesting. And certainly back in the beta, I was like trying to work out the Kerrigan combo by myself, because when I was playing her first, I was like, man, this hero fucking sucks, and her abilities don't activate right. What is going on? And then I worked out the Kerrigan combo. I was like, okay, the beta was a very different time. And obviously people just ran away in a straight line, so you could land it every single time. Things have changed now. People try to dodge it and stuff. It's very inconvenient. But anyway, I'll see you all next time for more Heroes of the Storm, guys. Bye bye.